check. My volume looks good. Beautiful. All right. Are we there? Oh, shit. That doesn't look good. Let this shit start again. Okay. There we go. Now we're back. All right. How's the audio? You guys hear me okay? That thing's loud. Whew. Mic is terrible. God. Oh, I'm a dumbass. All right. How's the audio, folks? Anybody hear me? Huh. Five folks. Welcome, welcome. And somebody let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know how the audio is, please. 10 folks. There we go. We're getting there. Do. Oh, awesome, Chuck. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Gonna be a fun night tonight. Gonna be a fun night. Sculpting of tobacco leaves into cigars. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We're 84, man. We're kicking up there today quick. That's awesome. Whoop, whoop. We get started when we get to around 100, okay, guys? It's always a solid number to get started with. It's going to be a fun night. We've got these beautiful little devils to roll. Like I promised in the short, we'll be doing Perfecto style cigars tonight, or other shapes. So we're going to do these Hemingways. Got some torpedoes bunched up. So we're going to wrap these guys, and then we'll bunch some more torpedoes. It's going to be cool. 112, outstanding. Coming along. Oh, shit. Wrong button. There we go. 112. All right, let's get started. Justin, it's usually... Hey, Mike, how you doing, brother? Justin, it's usually a couple times a month, depending on how heavy the workload is or how heavy the roll load is. Can you open that one more time? Yes, I can. Boom! Aren't they pretty? These are going to be fun. These are going to be fun. Not too soft. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate you, buddy. Tortilla Sense. Nice name, dude. Great name. All right. Let's pop one of these out of here and see if we can make some magic happen, Captain. Got our fancy little chopstick. Reach in here and pop it out nice and easy. Boom. Get that out of the way. Do it, man. Do it. I would, but YouTube frowns upon that big time. This is an Ecuadorian shade wrapper. One of my favorites. I did roll all of these with a right-hander. Little talk of the tools of the trade here before we really get started. This board is from about 1900 or so. I got it off eBay, but the story behind it was it came from Tampa, Florida, the town of Ybor within Tampa, the cigar capital of America back in the early days. The Chivetta was made for me by Mr. Mike Fish. He's on the chat. He is the man when it comes to Chivettas, in my opinion. This thing is an absolute game changer. It's made me a better roller. See, now I can't get anything right. It's going to be dark. Oh, solid, dude. Solid. I just chose these because they're a little bit longer. They're a little easier for me to work with. A little more room to, make mistakes. Because after all, I am human. Tomorrow we're going to start a restoration of this board, as it is kind of beat up. I've used it quite a bit, but it still does its job. I just want to make it look a little prettier. Dirty Sock, we are rolling cigars. Actually, at this point, we are wrapping cigars. Let's see if I can get this right today. Oh, you know what? Let's see if I can press these little corners down. I do. What makes them so expensive? It's the fact that the amount of time and care. By the time these leaves get to me, they've been touched by somewhere between 300 and 500 different hands and are at least 4 years old. This crop is from 2021, so it's 5 years old, roughly 5 years old. It takes a long time to make a real pretty leaf. So we try to show it as much respect as we possibly can. Try not to waste. Lost my scissors already. Yeah, dude, 5 years. So like whiskey, exactly. 1 to 3. About 1 to 3 a day. I do have bad draw issues all the time. I understand. I mean, and don't get it twisted. I've rolled a few cigars over the last year and change, and a whole lot of them have had draw issues, just from my pure inexperience. But that passes with time. You get better, and you learn how to feel what it feels like, what the bunch is supposed to feel like in your hand. This end of the cigar is the easy part on these dudes. Chevy, great icon, dude. Dig it, man. Thanks, Tony. We try, bud. All right. Now, if the cigar gods are in my favor tonight, we'll cut this crappy little vein out. Make that a little shorter. Get a little glue on here. If I miss your question, I apologize. Yes, it is a Figurado, Big Poppy. Oop. King of the damn world. Hi, nice to see you, bud. Appreciate you stopping by. And get that ugly vein out of there. Trick is to not pull too hard. If you pull too hard, this stuff is delicate enough, it will tear. Nice. And grab our scissors and cut the tip off. And go back to the other end. Maine, nice to see you, Zachary. Well, thanks, Lowport. Appreciate it. Are you the same one that does ghosts? No, man. That'd be kind of cool, though. I'm not against doing a ghost hunt. It might be kind of neat. I'm supposed to go to New Orleans in about 6 weeks. So I'm hoping to have a little time to maybe do some New Orleans ghost running. I definitely want to see the Lalaurie Mansion. I mean, I've watched, shoot, what was that show? I am familiar with that. Big Poppy, I wish I could sell these. I do not have the correct licensure. And that looks darker. So I'm going to go back over here. I have two. This one that we call, Mike calls the Bliss Special. It helps when you're cutting longer lines. And this one is a hybrid. It has the same curvature on one end and a pointy on the other for doing more precision work, like cutting flags, which is what this little piece I'm cutting out right here is. And yes, it does make a difference. I usually let them sit. Oh, nice, Ace. Awesome. Yeah, we'll be there middle of April for PCA, for the Premier Cigar Association. Think about that line. I usually let them age or rest minimum of a week. I prefer to let them go months. In the factories, they let them go between 90 and 120 days. I obviously don't have that. But yeah, usually a week at the least, depending on the humidity in this room. If the humidity is up real high, I'll let them rest a little longer. I've got a humidity gauge that I stick in the foot. And when it reads 70, I'll stick them in the humidor. And then let them chill out for a while. All right. Melissa, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you. 270 folks. That's awesome. I wonder how many of you guys are subscribers. That's always the stuff I wonder. And how did you find it? Was it in your feed? Crawford, how's it going? Oh, wow. Hellum, this stuff is called Bermcall. It's a cellulose gum, flavorless, odorless, doesn't give anything, doesn't take anything from the cigar. Just allows me to stick it together better. And I like the fact that it's all natural too. Comes from a tree called Bermcall. These are filled with Piloto Cubano, a Honduran leaf from the Jamastran Valley, and Dominican Olor. 3 of my favorites. And it is wrapped in an Ecuadorian wrapper. Oh, and the binder is Cameroon. Not too bad for the first one of the night. Larry, you can talk to a guy named Mike Fish. He's on the chat. He made these for me. He is a true craftsman and a very nice human being on to boot. There we go. There's one. Nice. Came out pretty good, I'd say. On to the next. It's a Cuban style. Yes, Battle Eyes. It is a Cuban style. And the leaf is Cuban seed, but not Cuban, because Cuban tobacco is not legal in the United States. Maybe someday, but today is not that day. At least got a big tear in it. We'll leave that one to the side. Use it for binder later. I like Churchill too. Sure, Larry, no worries. Oh, why is it not Cuban? Well, because I don't want to go to jail. Technically, that would be smuggling. I smoked a few Cubans. They're quite nice, but that's what you think. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Where we going here? That's what you think you could smoke whenever you want in the United States. I have the same tobacco right now, and I'm in the United States. Oh, nice, nice, Artie. Good. That's fantastic. No, Rob, we're rolling cigars. Does it matter that it's illegal? Oh, no, not really. It's just the availability of it that makes it considerably more difficult. If it was available and not going to send me to prison, would I roll with it? Absolutely. Maybe someday, you know? Maybe someday. Like soft, like a soft tissue, like you blow your nose with. That very soft smoothness. Yeah, right, Merc. Love it. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Yeah, Fish needed to challenge me. As I said in my Facebook post, I was resting on my laurels, and I was in a big fat comfort zone rolling Parejos and had pretty well stopped trying. I got my butt kicked rolling torpedoes and took a break from all Figurado styles for a while, and I needed to get back to it. They're so much fun to roll. Shoot, missed it a little bit. There we go. Get that out. Elevated joints with the scraps. We roll what's called short filler cigars. Nothing goes to waste. Like I was saying earlier, between 300 and 500 hands touch this leaf before it ever gets to me. I'm the last in the line, so I should show it the utmost respect. The hardworking people across Central America that put their time and effort into creating this leaf, the least I can do is show it respect. Show it the respect it deserves. Robert, about a year and change. Bryson, we don't inhale cigars. And we all make choices in life based on whatever we would like. I mean, say high cholesterol will kill you too. I should have cut way more of that off. $6.95, awesome. I try not to say this too much during the stream just because I don't want to be that guy either. But if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I would be most appreciative. Helps the channel grow, which is kind of what we're about. We're about building this community and including everyone as much as humanly possible anyway. If I had to sell these cigars, they would be somewhere between $20 and $25 a piece, just based on the quality of the tobacco and the fact that it is absolutely hand rolled. A little wrinkle in that one, but that's okay. Correct. Correct. You just pull it into your mouth, let your taste buds, the taste buds on your tongue, grab hold of whatever it wants to grab hold of, and you can train your taste buds to pick up different nuances within the tobacco leaf itself. And it's something I constantly work on, being able to pick up the smaller nuances. Yes, it's exactly like tasting wine. Why is it the weird shape? This shape is called a Hemingway. It's just something different. Trying to push my boundaries of what I know as a roller and what I'm good at. It's the only way we improve is to push and get better. Learn new stuff. Like anything else in life, if you want to improve, you got to put in the work and learn. All right, guys, I'm not ignoring him, just focus. Soaking the mouthpiece in whiskey? No, I have not. No, I don't usually do infused cigars in any way. I like the natural taste of the tobacco itself. The tobacco will give you tons and tons of flavor. It doesn't need anything else. Cohiba's usually pretty good. Yep, trying to. Trying to get that guy off of here. Come on, guys, let's keep it civil. No talk of drugs or any of that silly stuff. Everything's a personal choice in this world. There we go. Good. Sorry about that. Sorry I had to stop and deal with that silliness. Nice. Steve, this tobacco is roughly 5 years old. Roughly, give or take. If I could sell them, they would be roughly $20 to $25. And yes, aged is much better. So if you have to shoot, missed it. So if I grow some tobacco, are you telling me that and try to roll this the same mirror? It's not good. No, it will be very good to smoke. You're just going to take the time. You have to cure it. It's roughly 3 to 5 years from seed all the way to finished leaf. It has to be grown, it has to be dried, it has to be fermented, and it has to be aged. And then you can pull it, roll it into cigars, and let them rest a little bit longer. Typically anywhere between 90 and 120 days. But I have smoked them right off the table. And they don't draw real well because there's a lot of moisture. Cool, that's about right. Yeah, I will smoke cigars no matter what. There's a saying we use in Freemasonry called, it's memento mori. The loose translation is, remember you must die. And that's a matter of opinion. Jan. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, not Illuminati. Totally different creature. Liam, I am rolling cigars, wrapping cigars. Look at these. Vega, no, I don't. I don't make flavored or infused cigars. It's just not my jam. Nothing wrong with them, just not my jam. Just not my jam. Yes, I do grow my own tobacco. We grew some last year, and we have 6 different varietals we're growing this year. Basically, we took the blends that we make on a regular basis and decided to grow those tobaccos as the availability of them is becoming less and less. So it just makes sense at this point to grow everything, and then we have control of the whole shoot and match. Of course, any tobacco that we grow this year will be 2 to 3 years before I ever get to roll a cigar out of it, if not longer than that. Oh, Damon, nice. That's great. What got me into doing this? I got tired of paying high prices for cigars, and I was curious if there would be a cost difference in rolling than my own. And of course, the answer is yes. I mean, it costs a lot less to roll one of these than it does to go and buy something off the shelf, but you have to learn how to do it, which I think is awesome. It's a great pastime, and it's a huge, huge relaxation thing for me too. Like, first, I usually bunch first thing in the morning, and then I'll wrap them up in the evening. Just gives me something to chill out a little bit when I get home. A few minutes to decompress from the day, so to speak. Quite literally more than anything to do with marijuana that's physically and metaphysically is marijuana. Okay. Christine, thank you. I try. But I started doing this live stream. My youngest daughter moved out of state, and honestly, it was just a way for us to hang out. And she wouldn't be tied to the phone, I wouldn't be tied to the phone, and hell, I was rolling cigars anyway. So, and I have no idea why I did that first. Shoot. All right, we're gonna do this one backwards. That's what I get for running my mouth. And paying attention to what I'm doing. I usually wait to put this cap on until I've done the other end. It's just how I was taught. Santiago. If somebody's being nasty, feel free to kick them. Oh, look, thank you, Log. Thank you so much, man. We're just having a good time doing this. But anyways, like I was saying, I started doing the live stream just as an easy way for my youngest and I to hang out when she moved out of state. She can still motor around, do what she's doing at the house, and still hear my voice. And usually she mods. I'm surprised she's not on. Oh, she lives on a small farm in North Carolina. And apparently the pigs got out, so she's out chasing pigs. Thanks, Tony. I will do my very best, dude. We're having a good time. 500 folks on. That's pretty cool. I'll take that any day. Dearborn, you in Virginia? A lot of tobacco out there. Yes, sir, I am actually in Virginia. Not a lot of cigar tobacco in Virginia, though. Mostly tobacco for cigarettes. But there's some. There's a couple of farms south of me that are started growing cigar tobacco. Actually, no, these guys burn real soft and easy. Nice. That was this morning. It's in the mid 50s outside right now. It's finally warmed up. We had that stretch of days. It was single digits. It was savage. It's tobacco, Anthony. Only tobacco. YouTube frowns upon the other. You know, we were lucky enough to get to finally, thanks to you guys sitting out there watching, we were actually finally able to get quote unquote monetized. And, you know, that kind of stuff will get you demonetized real quick. But I don't do this for the money because there's not much, honestly. But look at that. Perfect. I am totally happy with that. And as it dries, it will actually tighten up a little bit more. Shoot, run away. Yes, they are. To start out from such a teeny tiny seed. Can I get leaf here from Cuba? No, Jerry, you cannot. Not legally. That's the correct response. Not legally. Excuse me. There's always a black market for everything, unfortunately. Not a big tear in this dude. We can still get through, though. Pride, I wish I could sell them, but I don't have the proper license. Oh, thanks, Reese. Appreciate you. You keep telling me water. What? I gotta go, but I think this is pretty cool. Detective, thank you so much for stopping by, bud. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you again. Please hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. That would be awesome, and then you could know when we do this again. But we do this every Thursday without fail, unless it's a holiday. But every Thursday we are right here, same time. Usually at 7 o'clock Eastern. It's just a nice solid time. I got time to get home from work, chill out a little bit. But I do most of the prep work either the night before or the morning of. Nice. My preferred strain of tobacco is Dominican Olor. And it's something, Tony, thank you so much. I appreciate that. The soil here is, depends on where you're at, obviously, but it's mostly about the fact that it can breathe so well and it drains well. That's one of the things tobacco needs when it's growing is nice, well-drained soil, but it has to be rich, very rich. Because this plant will eat every single nutrient it can get its hands on. And it's a hungry devil. There we go. Now we got it. Should be cutting that little vein out. Damn it. Drop the scissors. Can you show me what the tobacco looks like before you put it in the wrap? Yes, I absolutely can. Give me just a second and I will. Bring a lot of Cuban tobacco to the Philippines. Yeah, I bet they do. True, Tony. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. You want to know what the leaf looks like before it goes in. You just grab one of these dudes. We would have gotten to that later, but I totally get that. And I like to try to not make people wait if I have to. This is what filler leaf looks like. When you get what's called whole leaf, this centerpiece is not torn out. This is called frog-legged or processed. But that's what the leaf looks like. That's the top side, one side that the sun sees, and this is the underside that the sun doesn't see. Let me slip that over there. Jason, it is called Bermcol. It is a cellulose gum. It's odorless and tasteless. Doesn't add or take away. And it's essentially just a glue, like a pectin, like you'd make jelly with or Jello. It's pretty much all it is. Well, we don't use any, we try not to use anything that's not, you know, of the earth in these. Try to keep this as clean as possible. You doing with the wood? This wood here? Good call. James, I wish I could sell them, buddy. I do not have the proper licensing. I am only licensed to roll events. So you literally have to catch me at an event or happen to see me somewhere. That one goofy was talking about marijuana here. I could definitely tell you about fertilizer thing. Yes, that is very true. Very true. That's another very, very hungry plant. We got some friends that do that. I had another one. Where'd it go? Man, Fish, I can tell you, buddy, this Chevette changed the game for me, dude. This pointed one, the one with the hybrid, really, really makes it awesome. It makes these tight little corners so easy to cut. Yes, foosball, I do. We grew Tennessee Red last year, and we're going to grow Cuban seed tobacco this year. I am from Virginia, and there are a couple of online vendors that sell tobacco, whole leaf tobacco, and that's where we get them. It's a quick Google search, and they'll pop right up. Twill pop right up. Tobacco sweet in the water. No. Only in Virginia. But we do, we got one coming up, hopefully in August. Hopefully one before then too, but we'll be in downtown Richmond at a club. I work with a lot of meeting planners in my real life, in my real professional life. And they found out I rolled cigars, and they're like, hey, you want to come do this for us? I'm like, sure, let me get all my paperwork straight. I did that, and that was easy enough. Formed Pirates Cove. And it gives me the ability to hang out with you fine people. No. If you are actually 10 years old, you should not be on this stream. That one ended up with a flat head. That's nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. June Sledge. Smug from Cigar Pipes. Nice. Garrett, hi, how are you? Dante, we don't do that on this channel. YouTube frowns upon it. And that is just how fast this stuff starts to dry out. Tobacco is very hygroscopic. So pliable, you're prepping them. Yes, I spray them with distilled water. Depending on the thickness of the leaf is how many times I have to go back and touch them up. But when I get pull these leaves out of the bag, they're in little tiny, they look like a little scrunched up kind of long shoot. Imagine this, but a tobacco leaf. And that's what this leaf started out as, about twice this wide. And I sprayed it with distilled water, let it sit, put it in a bag, and then pulled it out and stretched it. Please message me after. Can you message me after? Sure, James. Shoot me a message, and I will be glad to. It's tobacco, Jamie. Yeah, dude, it actually is. It's super chill. These would be middle of the road. It would be mild, medium. I have a couple of milder blends, but I am rolling these dudes up tonight in this leaf. And this blend is actually quite powerful. I'm rolling these for me. Fun ones are going to start next after we get done here. Some trees in it. Yes, I have tried the Almafuerte. It's pretty good. Pretty good. There are a lot of very, very nice cigars out in the world these days. And I do believe this wrap is going to fail. I got lucky. Got it past the edge. Once the leaf really starts to dry out, it gets to be quite difficult to deal with, because they are very, very fragile. I mean, this is like tissue paper thin. Just the way the leaf was feeling in my hand, I can feel it starting to dry out. And if it dries, it'll tear very easily. And you get a bunch of cracks, and then the veins really stick up because I can't press them down in there really good and tight. But this was the ugly bunch anyway, so it'll be fine. And you get stuff like this here, where it's lifted up. I might be able to get that down a little bit, but not much. This will be the ugly duckling of the 5. It's always one. Yep, you see the tear? And that is exactly what I was talking about. Once it gets too dry, this stuff is so fragile. Yes, that's usually what I do. When I run low on a leaf that I need, I'll just order more, if it's available, which is getting to be the challenge here lately. It's funny that you said that about it looking like dried poo. I've heard the really ugly ones like this one with the big vein sticking out called dog rockets. I thought that was kind of funny. Quantum, how are you? All right. Do the usual spiel. If you would be so kind as to hit that subscribe button, I would be most appreciative. It has helped this channel grow, and that's what this is about. It's about spreading the love of this wonderful, wonderful thing here. How relaxing it is, how it brings people together. One of my favorite things about going to a cigar lounge is it doesn't matter who it is that's sitting there. Nicole, I'd love to be able to sell them to you, but I can't. Quantum, about a little over a year. Jason, thank you so much. Appreciate that more than you know. Awesome. R6, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. If I miss your question in the chat when I happen to be looking down, please know that it's not that I'm ignoring you. I just can't look at two places at the same time. Thanks, Fish. To engage more, answer the questions. Yes, I realize that. Try my best. Chat's going by pretty fast. Not to mention, there's a camera here, but the one that's got the chat on it's to my left. And I'm looking here, try to make less mistakes. But like I said, if I miss your question, please ask it again. I am not ignoring you. Just can't have my eyes in two places at once. Sid, because I do not have the proper licensing. I'm only licensed to roll at events. Boom. Those 5 are done. Okay. You guys ready for torpedoes? They are crazy fun. Get that dude out of the way. Slide these up here. Clean up a little bit. Time for the challenge. Nothing goes to waste. Absolutely nothing. I got a bag sitting off to my right-hand side that has all the shredded leaf in it. And I'll build those into a nice cigar unexpected see. I am doing my very best. Yes, Grayson, I do this every day. Doing the same. Clam chowder, awesome. Rev, these are, it's a Dominican and Nicaraguan hybrid between the two of them, but mostly Criollo and Dominican Olor. All right, you guys ready for torpedoes? Look at those pretty dudes. Oh, wow, awesome. No, sir, I do not sell them. Who's my admin? Well, they should be on here. No, I do vape some too, but it's mostly cigars. I vape when I can't smoke. When I can't. That would be ridiculous. Oh, thanks, Tony. All right, here we go. Get us a big fat lefty leaf. What I did is I rolled these guys right-handed and these guys left-handed so I could use the whole set of leaves. Yes, I do, and I share them with friends and family. Now, I am not ambidextrous, so rolling these left-handed is a challenge. What I usually do is flip them over and carve them up the way I need them to be, and then I'll roll it back over. Because as you can see, the top side of the leaf is much darker. Yes, Big Rock, it is quite a difference. Cigar shapes names. Or is it it's the cigar names are basically just what those specific types were called, or vitolas as we call them. Vitolas. All right. Just relax. Make it happen, Captain. And see, and if I don't like the way the edge looks, I can always go back and fix it. Time to switch to the precision instrument. Oh, Big Rock, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Frank, what's going on, brother? Nice to see you. Man, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Mad respect, dude. Thanks for posting those videos lately. I've been watching them. Bliss, what's up, big man? How are you, sir? Man, just in time. Woo! Just in time for the first torpedo. The Cameroon binder did not survive well in the mold. Really did not. No, I don't do flavored. Oh, wow. Grab you one. These dudes are crazy mania tonight. Trying to get that ugliness off. Excuse me for the next minute or so. I'm not going to talk or look at the chat. I am not great at these, but I am getting better. Have to with these, man. Tore it. This first one out of these I've rolled in a hot minute. And I did exactly the same thing I always do. Jack up the tip. Yes, it matters a ton. It matters an absolute ton. And I folded the top over because I broke it. But considering it's the first one I've rolled in probably 3 weeks, I'm not too displeased. Not terribly displeased. Alright, I gotta cut these back. Where are they sitting now? 6 inches, bring them back to 5 1/4. Ooh, I rusty with these dudes. Buenas tardes. A little over a year, Dean. A little over a year. Not totally happy with that, but for the first one in a few weeks, I'll take it. Not great, but not terrible either. I've done a whole lot worse. You should have seen the first ones I rolled. Oh, thank you. There's a gentleman on here named Mike Fish made them for me. I mean, this one and this one. This one for precision work, and this one for the meat and potatoes, the workhorse, so to speak. What should I ask as a new guy asking for a fresh cigar to shop? If this is you're fairly new in the shop, just tell them straight up, hey, I'm fairly new to this, or I've never smoked a cigar, or what would you recommend for a newbie? And believe me, they will point you right in the right direction. They're going to point you to something with a Connecticut wrapper. Yes, absolutely. Fish is the man. He is the Chevetta king. Oh, I wanted to say thanks to Bliss too. I saw you do this the other night, where you were rolling a left-hander, and you rolled it over, because I'm not ambidextrous, and I kept trying to cut it with my left hand. Wait, it didn't work too well, but switching it over and then getting it set up and then rolling it back over, that was huge. What a great little trick. I don't know why I chose to do these lefties as the torpedoes. And I give myself every possible advantage at success. The bunches look nice. Nice and firm, but not too firm. No big blocks in them. Oh, shoot. Did it freeze? Wonder what happened. Big difference, switch to cigars and just kind of find anything that gives me a punch I look for in tobacco. Yeah, right on. Yeah, it's totally different. But I can manage it. I'm going to cut this one way too wide. Sorry for not talking when I get to this point, guys. Just kind of focused. I do believe that, as I was told, these are the qualifier for a level 8 roller in Cuba. And I can see why. They are definitely challenging. Get off there. Come on, baby, don't tear. How many licenses do you need to make and sell these? It depends. If I'm sourcing the leaf from within the continental United States, it's a smaller bit of licensing. But most of this stuff is being sourced from outside of the United States. So it's in Virginia, it's a state license and a federal license. But just to roll them at events, it's just a state license and your LLC. Well, you have to form a company, obviously. Shoot. Cut that dude way too short. I think we can... damn it. How do you learn? I learned by watching videos on YouTube and going to Tampa, Florida, and watching people do it there. Wow. The tiniest little mistake with these torpedoes tears them up. You're not supposed to twist these either, like you do with the straight-sided ones, the parejos, as they're called. But in the grand scheme, it is not terrible. It's far from perfect. Far from what I like to call bliss level. Thank you. From the coast, Midway. You learned on accident? Nice. Glenn, hey, how are you? Happens to me all the time, blonde kid. Happens to me all the time. Shit, I'm from Louisa. No doubt. You from Louisa? I am actually in Hanover. Just a county over, dude. Just a county over. There's some good folks in Louisa. There we go. Let's just take the big one. Nice, 250. Sweet. Virginia Beach. Parker, shoot, I missed it, kid. What'd you say? Nice. Love Mexican date night. That's awesome. South Boston, welcome. Fantastic. Connecticut. Love y'all's leaf. Love it, love it, love it. Now we got this big old hole right here. You guys can see in the middle of it right here. That's not going to be a problem. Where it's at in the leaf, there'll be enough overlap that it should disappear. Patrick, I absolutely adore some of the leaf that's grown in Connecticut. It's wonderful stuff. This year, one of the varietals we're growing is Connecticut 49. I don't have enough gardens. I mean, I have enough garden space, but I'm only one man, so trying to harvest, 500 or 600 or even 1,000 tobacco plants is just too much. So we're going to keep it to 250 or so. Very specific picks based on my blends, and we'll see how it goes. If we do okay and I get a good handle, I'll probably do even more next year. Dropped it. Back up here. Yes, that little hole will disappear. Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's see if I can find something that's similar in color. That'll work. This is called patching. I watched a few folks do this too. And I did the same thing I always do. Put the glue on the wrong side. Shoot. There we go. All right, on to the next. Come here. Exactly, a Band-Aid. You dry your own leaves or buy. These are store-bought, quote-unquote store-bought. But hopefully by the end of, it's going to be a year or two before I even get to use these. Use the ones that we're going to grow. Shoot. Tore that up a little bit. That's okay. We can make it work. Interesting. Random, hi, how are you? Oh, thanks, Matthew. The glue is a cellulose-based gum called Bermcol. I prefer it over the other things that are available. It's got Arabic and just straight pectin. And in my opinion, those leave traces behind that can be visible in the finished cigar, and Bermcol does not. So that's why. Did I roll that backwards? No. Actually, I thought I'd rolled it upside down. Trying to pay attention to two things at once. Oh, Tony, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate every single one of you. Took time out of your day to come spend it with me. That's amazing. Get off me. This is actually easier with stouter leaf, which this is not. It's a very fine leaf, but it does the job. Yes, definitely. Quite peaceful. This is where I need the most practice, because this is where I lose it. Like every time. Sell a lot of cigars. Hey, Deep Smoke, I'm doing good, bud. Sorry, I happened to look up. Like I said, if I miss you guys' comment, please understand I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to do the very best I can, because the rollers I respect I have a lot of respect for watching tonight, and I want to do my best for them. That one is not too shabby. Like I said, just way, way out of practice. I figure if you're kind enough to share your time with me, the least I can do is try to be respectful and catch your questions. Sydney, the short answer to that question is yes. But I wouldn't. Especially not on YouTube. They get very unhappy about that. Very, very unhappy. And we spent quite a bit of time trying to get this far along. 1.1 thousand, fantastic. And you guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here. Wow. Really appreciate it. You guys are the greatest. Hey, did any of you guys see the short for this that I put up earlier? Oh, Half Awake and Healing. Thank you so much. Does it bother you? No, actually it doesn't. I figure once it's out of my hands, what other people do with it, that's totally up to them. But I think I know what you're talking about. Half Awake. And most of the time, those cigars are not like these. These are what's called long filler cigars, and they are all made by hand. Those cigars that you're talking about are usually, no, they're machine made, so they're basically this kind of stuff, but chopped up real fine inside of it. No, this is this leaf right here is from Ecuador. And most of the leaf that's grown in Virginia is for cigarettes, and that's not something I mess with. Beautiful. That came out nice. Excelente, excelente. Trying, doing my very best. What website do you buy from? Just do a quick Google search. Favorite binder? Ooh, that's a tough one. It is a toss-up between a Dominican Olor and Cameroon. But I like Cameroon throughout the cigar, in the binder, the wrapper, the filler. Cameroon is one of my favorites. It's just tasty. Nothing special about Cuban cigars. It's just the name. That's a matter of opinion. Tobacco is a lot like wine. Where it's grown makes a huge difference. The weather that year makes a huge difference. Yes, they do grow a great wrapper. I don't actually get a buzz from it. Max, I like Dominican too. They are very high on my favorite list. I don't get a buzz from handling the tobacco, but I do absorb nicotine through my skin. It takes an awful powerful cigar for me to catch a buzz anymore. Well, with the exception of that first cigar in the morning. That one usually rocks me pretty good. Okay. Put that way. Go back and get our glue. Correct, you do not inhale. I'll say the same thing that I usually say when people ask me that question. You can, once. And after you get done, potentially puking your guts out, you're definitely going to cough. Some of the things about cigarette tobacco, too, is it's so filled with other things. That's how they get it smooth. They tamper it down, and it's a lot to do with this varietal too. All right, here we go. Thanks, Matt. For the longest time, these were absolutely my nemesis. And it was usually this point right here where I would lose it. This one is actually deciding it's going to play nice. Yeah, I'll take that one all day long. Except for that big fat vein I should have cut out of there. Yep, that one I will take all day long. Oh, thank you guys so much for the gifts. Thanks, Blonde. I appreciate you. Wow, 1.9 thousand. That's awesome. And making bullets or pencils? Right on. The type of tobacco that I'm using is the wrapper's Ecuadorian, and it's Dominican. Let's see, Dominican, Honduran, and Connecticut inside with a Cameroon binder. Wow, I'm actually pretty happy with how these have come out tonight. I'm very happy. Man, thank you guys so much. I appreciate the love. That's fantastic. There's another gentleman. I don't know if he's still on or not. He had some other things he needed to handle tonight. But there's another channel, Bliss Cigar Co. He is the one I learned how to roll torpedoes from. So if you're ever curious what they should beautifully look like, oh wow, thank you. Good question, Healing. Very good question. You don't inhale because these are full-on tobacco. There's no additives, no preservatives, and the mucosa in the mouth will absorb just as much tobacco as the lungs will, without the tremendous amount of damage. And a lot of people smoke cigars, a lot like Hollywood movie stars. Yeah, I can dig that. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Milky, you're absolutely right. It will, it'll definitely make your head spin, that's for sure. Now, see, this guy looks short. I don't know if we'll be, I don't know what we'll get out of this one, but we're going to find out. We're in for a penny, in for a pound. And we try not to waste leaf, ever. And it happens. We try to avoid it at all costs. Lizards, it's an organic cellulose gum called Bermcol. It's my preferred. It doesn't leave any staining or anything that looks like a glazed donut. Nice, thanks for the torch. I appreciate you. Alba? Said Cameroon binder. Isn't that the leaf? If you give it some moisture, all of this leaf is extremely brittle until you hydrate it, or case it as it's called. But once you have it cased, it's still fragile. Don't get it twisted. You can't like beat it around the house like a crazy person. But it is a lot more pliable once you get it hydrated or cased, cased is the correct term there. Get off of there. You don't need to be there anymore. Go away. All right, focus, John boy. Yes. Oh, reversal. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I don't think I've ever said this before, but any monies that are gained during any of these streams or from any of the stuff I do on YouTube, it all goes right back into buying this tobacco. And like I said, I'm a Freemason too, so we use a lot of the stuff just to help out folks that are in need. Now that is the right angle. Let's see how she lands for me. How many years? About a year and change. It was December of last year. No, December of 24 when I rolled my first cigar. And it was horrific looking. No, I love it when people say that about Freemasons. In all honesty, here's the biggest truth about Freemasons. There are no real secrets. Everything's available on the internet. Everything. It's more about men being with other men in a safe environment and learning how to be better men. But there's no weirdness, no devil worship or any weird shit like that. It's just an opportunity for men to be supported by other men. It's a good thing. And we do a lot of philanthropy in the community. All right, focus, John Boy. Focus, focus. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Beautiful. I will take that one all day long. Heck yeah. Always makes me happy whenever you do fundraisers and shit. Yeah, dude, exactly. Nice. Okay, sounds gay. It's not. That's actually one of the things that's not there. I mean, if it is, it's not talked about. But it's not in anything I've ever done. And I've been a Mason almost a decade. Very nice. All right. Now you guys have seen the finished process. I wish Lizard. That's not. I don't have the proper licensure for that. No, Cobra. I'm in Virginia. Pinnacles of all creation, ancient. All due respect. I'm sorry, but do you think that hashy sleeve? What? Hashy sleeves, not like tobacco leaves on this one. Enjoying something that gets you new. Yeah. Okay. I see that. I see that. You can't buy them, unfortunately, not right now. Roanoke, welcome. We're working on it. Are you starting a new one? Yes. Now what we're going to do, now that we've done the wrapping, is we're going to clean this little bit of mess up and get these guys set over here to the side. And we're going to create some brand spanking new ones. Some brand spanking new ones. So we've done the wrapping part, and now we're going to bunch. And now you'll get to see each individual piece of tobacco as it is formed into a cigar. That's Andreas. Nope. Nope. Why is it so hard to get to? Nope. Nope. Yep. Got it. Okay. Whew. Sorry. Half, I appreciate you. Sorry, I missed it. I was preaching. I was trying to get these leaves. Okay. These are what we call binder leaves. So we'll pull these out. You'll get a good look at what these actually look like before I squish them into cigars. This is from the Dominican Republic. And it's one of my favorite binders. Wow, that dude's, oh, it's two. I was like, that's insanely thick. No, wait a minute, that's actually one leaf. There's no way that's one leaf. Oh, it's two. Hangman Town, nice to see you. Tennessee, great. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. We got Productos. Going live in Bedford. Awesome. Bunch is the middle. That is correct. Bunch is the middle. All right. And we got our binders out. Reach over here. All right. Now we'll start pulling the filler out of the bags. Wow, half I appreciate you more than I even have words for. Thank you so much. All right, these are the Dominican Olor I was telling you about. I really wish you guys could smell this. It smells like dark cocoa and a little bit of coffee and just the slightest tint of hay. Just the slightest tint. All right, that's a pretty good start. And then for my Connecticut folks that are on here, whoa, Meg, what's the question? Sorry, I missed it. What was your question? Half awake. I apologize. All right, I'm going to stop doing everything and pay attention. Meg, what's the question? Tennessee, Meg. Fronto or the other leaf? It's Fronto. Well, this would be technically Fronto, but this is filler. This is the filler leaf. Any Puerto Rican cigars? I actually have some in my humidor. Sorry, did that answer your question, Meg? And half healed? No, it's a natural smell. So I want to make sure I answered your question. Yeah, 4902. Thank you. Half awake, please ask me your question again, love. I apologize. That's the difference between the two? The difference between the two is where they're grown and the seed type. This is Connecticut broadleaf. As you can see, it is considerably thicker. If I could sell them, they would be between $20 and $25 a piece. What's the difference between Fronto and the other leaves you use? Okay, Fronto leaf is usually used for wrapper, and it's usually used for rolling. Rolling blunts or the other green items, whereas wrapper leaf it's basically the same leaf. It's just the wrapper leaf's a little bit higher quality. That makes sense. And it's this, let me see here. I got some technically Fronto leaf. Here it is. All right, you remember what the wrapper looked like that we wrapped those other cigars in, right? Okay, this is technically Fronto leaf. It is much thicker. When you're rolling those, you don't cut the whole leaf. You cut these center sections out. These sections right here, and that's what you would roll those with. Whereas with a wrapper leaf, it's a cigar wrapper leaf, I'm using this whole half. Does that make better sense? Correct, Carlos. Palmer, you get one more time and then I'm booting you, buddy. Sorry. I'm not going to have YouTube flag me because you're being silly. True, I try to take most of the stems out. The stems, if you leave them in, will make it bitter. Very, very bitter. All right, we have the Connecticut broadleaf, the Dominican Olor. This is a middle of the plant priming. When you look at a plant, actually, I got this right over here. Hold on a second. This may help. Okay, we'll do a little pause for a second. If I could sell them, they'd be between $20 and $25 a piece. Okay, as you can see, this down here, I love this sign. My girl got it for me for Valentine's Day, because she knows me. Okay, the bottom of the plant is velado. And in America and Central America, we call this the seco leaf, which is what this guy is. It's a seco priming, so it comes from the bottom of the plant. Viso, all right, let me back up. The seco or velado gives you combustion, so it helps the plant burn because it's the thinnest and the oldest leaf on the plant. The seco or viso, if we're in Central America, which is this leaf, gives you some strength and a lot more flavor. And the Ligero, where did it go? Which is right here, comes from the top of the plant, and it contains all of the power, the highest amounts of oil. It is the youngest leaf on the plant, but it also spends its entire life in full sun. So that's where you get all the big, huge strength from. All right, sorry about that. Back to it. This leaf, you have to make sure that the Ligero leaf is in the middle of the bunch. As it is, like I said, it is the strongest and youngest part of the leaf, but it's also the thickest. So it does not like to burn real well. And you can see the difference. See how thick this is? How it almost looks oily? That means you're gonna get a flavor. My pleasure. I apologize for missing it. Now, this is something that some of the commercial manufacturers do not do. They don't pull out this giant center stem. But like I said a minute or two ago, it can make it very bitter. And with a stem this big, it's going to clog the cigar. And then you're not going to get a good draw through it. Yes, Fabian, I am. Right about now, actually. Not with that leaf. All right. Now I need a workhorse Chivetta. Now, if these leaves were like very, very hydrated, I would just pull the center stem out. But these are not super hydrated. I don't like to make these thick ones real hydrated. It takes them a long time to dry. Can never understand why a $20 cigar is any better than a $2 cigar. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the $20 cigar is no better than the $2 cigar. So, cigars are about finding what you like too. And sometimes it's a $2 cigar and sometimes it's a $20 cigar. It's entirely up to you. It's an experience. And you're paying for the craftsman that spent countless hours. And I grabbed the wrong bloody side. Shoot. There we go. What you're really paying for is the time. Is time. Time is the kicker when it comes to tobacco leaves. I said these are probably from 2021. That creates tunneling. Yes. And we'll go through that in just a very quick second. All right. So we start with our Secco leaf. Pull out the big fat center. This is Connecticut broadleaf. It is sweet and creamy and a little bit peppery, but not a ton. And this is a Secco from the bottom of the plant. This is what can keep it from tunneling. You have to make sure that this method is called entubado, or very loosely translated as tubes. So you made a tube, as you can breathe all the way through it. And then we grab the next leaf and do the same thing. There are a bunch of other different ways to do this. This Connecticut resident, the Connecticut resident, the tobaccos, in fact, go to. Yeah, for sure, dude, no doubt. Wow, 1.6, that's amazing. Thank you guys so much. I'll throw this out there a couple more times just because it helps the channel grow. If you haven't subscribed and feel that I've earned it, I would be beyond appreciative. Okay, so we have a Seco and a Viso, and they're two tubes, two entubado. And then we take our power leaf, our ligero. And this is where it can get weird. You're trying to lay him directly in the middle, or as close to in the middle as possible. Take these tips off so you have a nice flat end. Squeeze down till you feel about where you think you're going to be. Or what you really should do is do this so you can get a rough length. Tear it off. You have to remember which is the top and which is the bottom, or the head and the foot. Actually, this would be the foot and this would be the head. But you get the idea. Go through, pick out the ligero, stick it back in the middle, and then you can grab the outers and roll them up. Full of sweet flavor like a black and mild royal. Okay, cool. It's the wonderful thing about tobacco, or cigars in general, is it's whatever the person wants. You can customize these to any flavor you'd like. That actually feels pretty right. All right, we are going to go back and roll torpedoes, just so you guys can see that process. You saw me wrap them, now you see me create them. I take this leaf and fold it over and hold it in place. The trick is to not roll this really tight. You want this to be loose but tight enough. And you want the mold to do the job of squaring it up and making it all pretty. You want to make sure that these are not twisted. You twist them, you get a bunch, and then it's not going to breathe for you. As you get close to the end, you'll feel it kind of dip off, kind of gets tapered. And then real quick, you turn it into a point. And you want this to be fairly quick. Dang it, don't start with a dark Stout leaf. Start with something mild. Well, they all pretty well look stout at this point. And I use Ligero more for flavor than I do power. I mean, I rolled one. There's another video on my on the main page that's a 60% of the Ligero, and that dude was crazy strong. I mean, wow! But it tasted so nice. All right. And that little ugly tip does not matter at this point. I'll take him and squeeze him down in this mold and give him a good shove so that the point meets up at the top. You're shoving it forward so it forces itself into this shape. And there's your first punch. How do you, whoa, shoot, I missed that. How do you feel about guys trying to gatekeep cigar smoking? Guys at my local shop smoke and look at me weird. That's weird. Man, I've never had that happen in a lounge. Most of the time in a lounge, it's very open and happy. You said you can totally customize the cigars. Do you have a favorite? Well, one of mine are my favorites, but anything with this Dominican Olor, I'm always in. First was a punch cut. It was bold and earthy, pretty good. Yes, Mayflowers are good too. I like those too. Oh, Cole, thank you so much. I inhale when I smoke anything. Maybe that's not right. Well, if you've managed to inhale a cigar and not cough your guts out, I'm impressed. This is definitely not a cigarette with a filter. No, you're right, it's not. The closest I would ever come to inhaling this is what they call a retrohale, where you push it back through your sinuses. Used to be able to roll while driving. Yeah, right. Halo, still. Wow, do you, brother? Do you? Looks like a chat box is slow. You can also, guys, literally focus on trying to read them. Correct. Trying to catch up. About a week once it's rolled. Who gatekeeps smoking? I don't know, and that would suck. I would hate that. I've personally never had the experience in my local shop, but I'm 22. But that could just be. It's quite possible. Kind of territorial. I actually do smoke pipes. Disputed. What I do with some of the leftover stuff is I'll shred it and then use it in my pipe. That way I don't have to continuously roll short filler cigars. You have tobacco seed. Nice! I'm starting mine at the end of the month. Michelle, thank you so much. Hey, Kyle, what's up, dude? How you doing? We used to seal it. It's called Bermcol. It's a cellulose gum. Crimson, thank you so much. Michelle, thank you so much. Not supposed to inhale. Okay, right, correct. Do you give lessons? No, I don't consider myself that awesome yet. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, I like to say, good starter cigars, anything with a Connecticut wrapper. The second time ever watching your channel. Deepest, thank you so much. I'm trying to catch up, guys. Never knew the saliva absorbs, something absorbs smoke, blah, blah, blah. It makes me want to smoke. Me too. Where'd you get your tobacco from? The internet? It's a quick Google search and you'll be able to find it pretty easily. You can roll a blunt while driving. Man, this chat is flying. Waste of dono. The cigar is about the ritual. It's about forcing yourself to stop and relax for a few minutes. For me, anyway. It's a moment to pause and reflect and just take a moment to regroup, so to speak. I've noticed if I'm working on a problem. Whoa, what was the Cuba comment? Everything but a cigar. That cigar looks everything but a cigar. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Shalane, appreciate you. All right, let's get another one going. Wow, 804. It's great. This would be long filler leaf, not graba. Graba tends to be more chopped up. That's a great question, Danny, and the answer is simple in my mind. They are sought after in the United States because, well, put it very simply, because we can't have them. And like most things, if you can't have it, that's pretty much what you want. Yes. Correct. Sometimes it's just a cigar. It's just about that moment to relax and regroup. How do you start the hobby if you've never done it before? Grab a kit. And grab a kit from one of the leaf suppliers online and start doing it. Grab a video off the web and go for it. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Slayer, I believe you are actually the very first member. Man, fantastic. Thank you so much. Serious shout out, Slayer. Thank you, dude. That's fantastic. We'll pull off our middle, our lejero. And I said, this is really strong leaf, so we don't need a ton of it. Just a wee bit. Oops, missed it. Oh, Liz, thank you, babe. All right, we'll go down about halfway, and then we'll go back in and build up the bulk. All right, out of the frame. Shoot, I was out of the frame. Sorry, guys. Just asking Adam Hussein. I don't know. That's a good question. I do not know if he smoked cigars. I know Fidel Castro did. He created an entire, the Bejique or the Trinidad. Actually, it was the Trinidad that they created specifically for Fidel. And for the longest time, you couldn't get those unless he personally put them in your hand. Now, of course, they're one of the most sought-after Cuban cigars in the world. I have had the pleasure of smoking a Trinidad, and they are outstanding. Oh, Blonde, thank you so much, babe. Never had Castros. Never had what Castro smokes because of the cigar alone in Canada. Yeah, the Trinidads are stupid expensive. They are stupid expensive. Are they good? Yes. Actually, the Trinidad was one of the most expensive cigars I'd ever smoked. And that was when we were in Jamaica several years back. Okay, I'm going to go to the other side. One of the other tricks is you want the wrapper and the binder to go in the same direction. So I separate left and right based on that. If there's two, sweet. Oh, Danny, I appreciate you. You said about taking a pause and reflecting on things. Oh, brother, my pleasure. My pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's something about it. If I'm fighting a problem at work or working on something in the yard and it's frustrating me, if I just take that 30 minutes and pause, usually it all comes together quite nicely. And this stuff is busted up. Sometimes that's something we get away from in this super fast-paced world, is we forget to pause. We're all about go, 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 go. We're all staring at our phones all the time. I mean, granted, we're staring at our phones right now, but that's a different creature. We're actually interacting, not just doom scrolling, as I believe what it's called. Trying my best not to doom scroll. They're tiny little dudes. Oh, what happened? Oh man, wow. Headstrong, I appreciate you. Thank you for your service, brother. I am former Navy. Served in the first Desert Storm. 2 tours across the pond. And the rest of my time I spent right in the Caribbean, which is where I fell in love with cigars. CGI, I'm actually going to PCA this year. We got invited by, I've got some friends of mine that are pretty deep in the industry, but on the legislative side, and they invited me to go. We were at another event and just kicking back, smoking a cigar, and we got to talking about PCA, and he's like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want to go." And bam, bam, turkey and ham. Here we are. Wish I could, dude. Wish I could. YouTube seriously frowns about anything burning. and they will flag it in a heartbeat. Honestly, they're probably going to flag this stream just for the cannabis talk. Wait, what's that? No, Austin, you do not. You just have, there are very simple rules to being a Freemason. Very simple. And I guess the biggest one is you have to have a belief in a higher power. Other than that, you can't be a felon. They're basically just looking to make good men. That's the phrase. Man, thank you, Brain, for finally coming online. That's the phrase. It's making good men better. So that's what I like about it. It's a brotherhood I haven't felt since the Navy. What was up, Grandma? Shoot, I missed it. One of my grandmas was a cigar rolling Cuban. Was telling me that 2 days ago about the low ground houses in the store, the leaves to dry out again. Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. Electric. Should have went down there. You guys were really nice to me. Wow, cool, man. Yeah, true. Very true. They do. They'll smack you down pretty quick. They don't play. But I get what they're trying to do. They don't want this to be the Wild Wild West. And I mean, it's the Wild Wild West anyway. Shoot. Technically, yes, Crimson. The binder, hey Fish, it's Piloto from WLT. No, I'm sorry. No, this is LO. It's not very big. It was right towards the end. When they said that they were low, I scooped a couple of pounds up real fast. Not been super impressed with it. But it does the job. Well, what was that? Shoot, I missed that. Gerald, there's a very simple statement that goes into Freemasons, and it's most used quite a bit. It's to be one, ask one. So if you're curious, do some digging, man. Do some digging. It will. It's a brotherhood, just like the military is, just like cigars are. Man, this is some nasty looking Lajero. This was harvested in a different method. This was stalk cut. So they cut the whole stalk. Man, it's going by so fast. Been a long time watcher. Thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate that. I know he does. Yeah. I met that man when I was very young in life. Grew up in the church and did all that, and I've been to Jerusalem. And that's one of the best parts about the military was getting to travel the world. And went to Jerusalem, stood in the Holy Sepulchre, stood in Jesus' tomb, touched the rocket gallery, done all of that fun stuff. And you leave that place without some form of belief, I don't know, man. It's when I stood inside the tomb of the temple of the Holy Sepulchre in what is technically Jesus' tomb, that was the quietest place I've ever been on this earth. I didn't know it was possible to be that quiet. I couldn't even hear the blood pump in my ears. It was a very surreal moment, one I'll never forget. All right, we get down to the tip here, and real quick, we don't want this to be we don't want this to be an elongated turn. We want it to be fairly quick. Cut off the excess. I hate using this double binder because it's so thick. Kick that back. It was amazing. Truly amazing. This was a righty-tighty. And that is way too much. That's going to be a full one there. Good Lord. Cut some of that off. Still got a good draw, though. That's going to be a full one. Fantastic. Love it. No, Leighton, I do not. Use the tobacco's natural flavor. Yes, sir, Gnarly. Yes, sir. It's different. It's not a kind of a weepy feeling. It's more along the lines of just reverence, peacefulness. There is a palpable energy, though. Sorry, guys, I gotta grab some more binder. Probably do a couple more of these, and then we'll switch out and do something else. Really? No, I have not. Great question. Fine, Leaf. Wants to play not nice, nice? Fine. We have scissors for that. Dace, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Now there's one that feels a little bit thinner. Of course, it's going to be ultra fragile because it's buried and not cased. Yeah, those two should work nicely. Beautiful. Probably going to roll 4 of these and then switch to something else. I'm going to go scroll around. Much appreciated, everybody. Thanks for reading my comments, bro. I appreciate that a lot. Gnarly, it's been a pleasure, brother. Hit that subscribe button if you want to. I would really appreciate it. We're here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I usually post a couple of videos during the week, but I really appreciate you stopping by and chatting in. I appreciate it. How would you prevent mold? It's about controlling humidity, and mold will happen if you let the humidity get out of control. I keep my humidors in the mid 60s. That is a personal preference. The industry, the rule is, well, the quote unquote rule is 70 degrees, 70% humidity. I like my cigars a bit drier, so I will usually keep my humidors in the mid 60s. Joe, a little over a year. Whoa. What's that? Have you ever smoked any tobacco leaves with a wood? No. Oh, you mean like using them like apple chips? No, but that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I hadn't even thought about that. I don't like that one. I don't really need a double binder. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's go for it with a single binder this time. You're most welcome, my man. The Thursday special. Yes, sir. The Thursday special. Does becoming a freemason take a lot of your free? It can. Yes. The simple answer to that question is it will take every ounce of time that you want to give it. If you want to give it all your time, there's plenty to do. You want to give it just a little bit of time, you can do that too. It's not about indentured servitude or anything like that. They want you to want to do it. To better yourself, to better the brothers around you, to better the world around you. Isaac, nice to see you. The double binder, it's 2 of these leaves that we're going to use to take these leaves and turn them into bunches. It's the inner wrapper, for lack of a better term. I do know the Aroma de Cuba brand. I like them. About a week is my standard. Before I'll crack one, depending on the humidity in the room. I do sit them in a drying rack off to my right, off to my left, on my right hand side here. And if it gets super dry in the room, like in the wintertime when it's really, really cold, that super dry cold, I can probably burn them in like 3 days. And this Lajero is not pretty, but it's tasty. There we go. You're just wrapping tobacco leaves on leaves. Essentially, yes. It's the tobacco leaves wrapped on top of tobacco leaves. But you mix the different countries, different flavors, different regions to get a specific result, for lack of a better term. And as you get better at it, you learn what you like personally. Because a lot of this is personal. That's pretty cool. Oh, I see a big stem. Get out of there. There we go. All right. This one might be a little bit skinny, but that's okay too. I'm gonna need that double binder. I don't know. I'll get there. Not real tight. I bet. I don't know if it looks like I'm squeezing these real tight, but I'm not. Oh, greetings, brother. Watching YouTube was the majority of how I learned. And then I went to Florida for a few days. Some other folks do it. Learned from them. I am Tuckahoe 347 Ramey in Richmond, Virginia, or Glen Allen, Virginia. All right. I'm going to stop with these 4 because these guys stack up on me quick and they eat up a lot of tobacco. But we'll put this cap on here, squeeze them down real good, and shove them in the press. 1,000 folks. Fantastic. Wow, what a night. What a night. Can you roll a torpedo? That's actually what I was just rolling. And these are some of the finished ones from earlier. Ooh, that one got an ugly on it. Fix that. No problem. But yeah, we did these 4 earlier. I'm not the greatest at torpedoes. They are still my learn. I'm sorry, I did 5. You're right, I did 5. And then we did 5 of the Hemingways. Not too shabby. Some of them are a little worse than others. The dry leaves got a little dry on me. Have you found Freemason to be overly testing to your character? I found it to be enhancing to my character. I do like Candela cigars. For what I know, it's a better asset to the community. Shoot, it went by too fast. I have a family that urged me, but I'm not sure I'm committed yet. I will tell you, if you're not, Luke, if you're not ready, don't do it. When you're ready, do it. It'll call you. It's here called Cigar City, famous for cigars. There's no more as a brewery. All right, right on. No, Tommy, I do not. Ah, sweet. Tabaldak. And I hope I don't slaughter y'all's names. Fabian, if I could and YouTube wouldn't drill me for it, I absolutely would. I would love to be able to just have one cooking. And most of the time when I'm here by myself and not on camera, I will have one burning when I'm smoking. When I'm rolling. My cigar ashtray is off to the left. All right, let's switch up. No, because then I got to switch blends too. Houston's Humidor. I love the Havana Connections. Oh yeah, dude, Havana. We got 2 of those here. I love Havana Connections. I was actually in there today. You need to open up sessions to teach us. Yeah, right on, dude. Let me get to where I'm super comfortable being a roller. I don't feel I'm qualified to teach yet. Straight side Pareos, yeah, I can give you some basics. But honestly, if you want to learn how to do it and don't want to invest in a class right away, go look at Bliss Cigar Co. and Mike Fish. Do a YouTube search for those guys. They are who I respect and who I learned from. There's a lot of good rollers on YouTube, a lot. But those 2 I have learned a ton from. And I appreciate them, and I have the highest respect for them. And hell, if I'm right about it, if I got the math right, Blake's been rolling since I was a toddler. And that's just amazing to me. Like, wow. All right, what do we got here? We got some singles. Oh, Kenneth, thank you so much. We appreciate you, Mike, for sure, brother. I was 26, you laughed at me. Why didn't you look at it when you learned to roll blunts and cigars a long time? That's fair. Don't Die, I get them from the internet. It's a pretty quick Google search that makes them available. Nothing crazy. Just search for like whole leaf tobacco or cigar tobacco, and you can find them pretty easily. There's a couple of vendors out there that do it. Oh, you're Joshua from Nicaragua? Nice. Yeah, I got a bunch of SLE too. I've got some other, the other blend had jalapa in it. But I like, SLE brings some beautiful power, an absolutely beautiful power to the table. It's good and peppery. Let's see me use herb. Yes, Luscious, I do. I hear you. It's essentially the same. Yes, that is not an incorrect statement. Can you use the same leaf? You can. They're going to be really strong, and you're not going to want to inhale them. But you most definitely can. Most definitely can. All right, so this blend is pretty simple. It's Connecticut broadleaf and Dominican Olor Viso. But we're rolling these 46 gauge ones. These will just be for fun. Oh, Fabian, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. That should be about right, give or take. And give this a little. And when I pull it, like when I'm rolling a straight side or a parejo, what I'm looking for when I get to the end is it'll kind of dip off. It feels like kind of like this. It dips off, and that's where you want to back up to where it's the firmest and cut it. And that way your head will be nice and firm and not soft and squishy. And that's something I learned from Bliss and Fish, was to take these. And actually, fish, you don't trim your heads, do you? And then take them and lock them in there. Perfect. Great question. Great question, Slayer. Does it add anything? No, it doesn't really add anything. It's a cool factor. The trick with box press, and I have a box pressing machine over here. Well, I call it a machine. It's really not. It's just it's a bunch of pieces of wood that I had made by another gentleman. It's in our cigar rollers group. But yeah, no, it's I wouldn't call it a gimmick. They've been doing it a hot minute. It's a cool factor. It's a visual. That's the other thing. The first time, when you first go into a cigar lounge or shoot, I'm trying to overcomplicate that. The simple answer is we first smoke with our eyes. Our eyes are the first thing that we see when we walk into a cigar lounge. We're like, wow, that looks pretty. Or if we catch a weird shape, it draws our attention. So that's pretty much where that comes from. It's meant to be an eye grabber. I don't think it adds anything else. I don't doubt that. I've had better burns with box presses too. Yep, correct. A trippy, yes. Same thing when you dine, exactly. Eat with our eyes, we smoke with our eyes. First and foremost. A little Connecticut broadleaf. And we'll pull us out another Seco here. All right, this is Viso. The broadleaf is Seco. You're not the only one, dude. So many people would. I don't feel that would be a waste of a rather expensive cigar leaf. But to each their own. To each their own. Right, tear tips. We got about halfway. Normally with this vitola, I would add a considerable amount more leaf, but this broadleaf is very, very thick. So I can accomplish the same thing with 2 leaves. It would normally take me 4. We're right at 4. And that one has a soft spot right there. So we have to reach around, find a little piece to lay in there, and that should snug that up nice. It's still a little skinny for my taste. There we go. Huh. They're almost Corona size instead of Corona Gordas. Yes, I like the Magic Toast too. A lot of people don't give Alec Bradley enough. The paste is called Bermcall. It's a cellulose gum. Odorless, tasteless. This is a damn Corona. I'm way understuffed this one. I do need that second binder. Shoot. All right. I hate to do it. Damn it. because I do not have another binder prepped. I have to roll this one inside out, which I don't like doing. Doesn't make a difference. There we go. Beautiful. Whew. This is awesome. Nothing at all. This is awesome. I always wondered what happened to this stuff. And it's been hanging in the barn. Dude, no kidding, right? Something about walking into a tobacco barn and that smell is just something you never forget. Never, ever forget. I have a lot of respect for the folks in the factories that can roll hundreds of these a day. Realistically, I've got maybe 20 a day in me and then I'm toast. But 20 is a push and I can feel it in my shoulders. I mean, we've been going, what, almost 2 hours? Yeah, close to 2 hours. And I can feel it in my shoulders. Actually, that one's pretty close to right. Let's see, you always wonder. It's strong. Yeah, nothing at all, my friend. Screw it, don't get me wrong, blah, blah. Shit, I missed it. Don't get me wrong, I love cigars and blunts. You don't use a leaf for a roll, bro. True. Epic, I wish I could sell them, but I do not. I do not have the proper licensing. I am licensed to roll at events, and that is it. So short of breaking a federal law, which I will not do, cannot. All right, what do we got left? Let's see here. What other leaf do we have out? Down to Viso and Ligero. Woo! Screw it. Hold a powerhouse. Where's that dude at? Whoa, excuse me for a second, y'all. Gotta stand up and grab some more leaf. That's the Maduro. Yeah, let's use this. All right. Ugh. Cooper, yes, we did. We grew Pennsylvania Red last year, and this year we're going to grow Cuban Seed. And this leaf is technically wrapper, but it is very small. And these are actually pretty big for this, but this is a Maduro. But considering I don't have any other binder prepped, I didn't think we'd go through that fast, but we did. I'm going to use these dudes as binder. I don't know if you can see the difference between the level of moisture. Actually, you can. Okay. Here is my Piloto binder, and this is actually a little bit undercased, and this is a little overcased. So this is crispy. Sounds like it. This has very little noise. But can you get the seed? Etsy, believe it or not, Etsy's a great place to start. And there's a couple of seed banks online, but they sell not just tobacco seeds, but like vegetables and flowers. It's True Market, I think is where I got mine. And I got some of them off of Etsy too. I have a box of the same trash bag. Right? Those are the fancy, what does Bliss call them? The fancy professional casing bags. That's it. That's it. Yeah, but that's all they are. It's just unscented, unjacked up trash bags. Then they work flawlessly. And they're cheap. All right. That gives us 2 more. Do I have enough for 4 more? No, I don't. Shoot. Okay, fine. And like I said, these dudes are tiny, so we'll roll through these pretty quick. Oh, these ought to be stout. The Maduro binder and then Viso and Ligero on the inside. Yeah, buddy. These will be juicy. There we go. There's one. Put it to the side. And 2. Put it to the side. There's my other. Sorry, guys. No, it's not leather. It's tobacco leaves. I can see how you would think that these were leather, though. I can see that. Sometimes they do have a leather feel to them. And they will definitely throw a leather taste in your mouth. For Those of us that ever played softball or baseball when we were kids, you get stuck in the outfield and end up chewing on the little ties on the sides of your glove. It's very reminiscent of what leather tastes like in a tobacco, in a cigar. Didn't know you could buy tobacco online. Seems like a no-go here in Arkansas. Oh, shoot, that sucks. I didn't know that. Yes, correct, Jay. Correct. Have to have a license. This is a controlled substance, just like alcohol is. All right, a little Olor. Fiso. We'll reach over into our busted pile of Piloto Ligero. This is the bottom of a pound. We'll call this the dregs of the bag. Now this is going to be interesting. I'm going to pull that and move it up. There'll be a lot of Ligero in this. It'll be a shorty cigar too. Crazy monkey. Cigars are not leather, true. Who knows, dude? Who knows? Even this little busted piece right here. I'll tell you, man, this chat is a blast sometimes. It's funny as hell. Between a Cuban cigar and just the tobacco and where it's grown. Those are the big differences, the tobacco and where it's grown. Other than that, we're all essentially using the same seed. I mean, there's been some hybridization over the years by people in other countries. But essentially, it's all Cuban seed. Gonna be a little shorty dude here. He's gonna be tasty though, powerful. Come here. Come on. Don't be scared. There we go. You can do anything with the stems. Usually compost the stems. We use them as compost. Put them in our compost pile. Yeah, whatever doesn't get rolled into a cigar or rolled into a short filler cigar goes in the composter. We waste nothing. Treat this tobacco with reverence and love. Righty tighty. It's a little cute one. All right, guys, I think I got one more in me. In fact, I know I got one more in me, too. I rolled stumble across your live feed, doom scrolling out. Leviathan, that literally makes my heart smile. That you stopped here while you were doom scrolling. That's fantastic, man. Well, no need to doom scroll anymore, dude. We're here every single Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern. Every single Thursday, unless it's a holiday. And I've said this a couple of times, and I hope I'm not bugging y'all with it, but please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm beyond grateful for each and every one of you hanging out, just having a good time. I learned to roll watching YouTube videos. Well, I learned the majority of what I know from watching YouTube videos. And then I spent a few days in Tampa, Florida with some Cuban folks and had the pleasure of learning some tips and tricks from them. But the meat and potatoes of how I learned to roll was right here on YouTube. And that was, if you want to go check out his stuff, his name is, his YouTube channel is Bliss Cigar Co. And the other gentleman who's been a great help to me is Mike Fish. He's got some videos up too, and his are awesome as well. If you look at Bliss's page, there's actually a team up between Fish and Bliss, which I think is awesome. Got a lot of respect for them gentlemen. That's going to take the whole leaf. All right, cool. Tampa Ybor, exactly. Oh, right on. I hear you, Merc. They're fantastic human beings. So willing to share their knowledge, which is, it's a rare thing in this world. People are usually very guarded with what they know. That is definitely way too small. We need another leaf. Folks, I think this is going to be the last one for the night. Starting to feel it across my shoulders. No, brother, I'm the one that's humbled. You guys have been super nice and incredible. That's better. Now we got our correct thickness. It's something that I've heard several times over when it comes to rolling and rolling your bunch. You keep the mold in front of you so you can see what the size looks like in your mind, so you can look back and see here. But what you have to do is you have to train your hands, and then you have to trust them. Your hands won't let you down. You just have to listen to them. And then you have to train them and listen to them. They will not let you down. Oh, it's a little exercise I learned. This is not about cigar rolling. It's just about life in general. And I'm going to actually stop for a second. When you're sitting at home one evening, take a moment and look at your hands. And then think about your life. Where have these hands taken you? What have they done? What have they touched? What have they experienced? And that's kind of cool. Everywhere you've ever been in your life, your hands have been with you. Unless you're one of those unfortunate folks that has had an appendage lost. Oh, Cody, that's awesome, dude. I'm so glad you made it, though. I appreciate you. We're here every Thursday, dude. Every single Thursday, unless it's a holiday. So if you wouldn't mind, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss anything next week. This was a lefty. Okay. See how much better that fits? Nice and tight. All right, folks. Whew, my shoulders are angry. Whew. Man, you guys are absolutely amazing. The liquid, no, it's a cellulose gum off of a tree. It's just mixed with a little bit of distilled water, nothing crazy. Firms up real nice like Jello, except a whole lot stickier. I start at 7 p.m. on Thursday Eastern. Oh, nice, John. That's awesome. Yep, 7 p.m. on Thursdays, Ryan. It's Kentucky jelly. Dig it, man. Dig it. Usually 45 minutes to an hour, and then you take them out, rotate them 90 degrees, and put them back in there. And if you're pushing in a factory, you can do it about every hour or so, 90 minutes. Oh, user, thank you, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's from the moment they're in the roll to the moment you can wrap them is usually an hour to 2 hours, depending on the person in the factory. Oh, John Gaming, thank you so much, brother. You have a great night, too. I appreciate you all ever so much. And Zeke, thank you, man. Rojas, what a great name. Should make a label placement for the gum so that everyone knows what it is. That's a good point. Hey, thank you. Great idea. And I will. I'll put it right up on top. Fantastic. No, sir, you do not inhale cigars. I love you, sunshine, and I will talk to you later. Folks, have an absolutely wonderful evening. Have a great day tomorrow and have an amazing weekend. Get outside. Enjoy the people you're with. Enjoy life. It's too short. Anytime, Mike. Anytime, brother. I appreciate you. I'm going to hop over on the Bliss's stream if he's still on. All right, man. Talk to you guys later. Have a great night, y'all. See ya. See you next week. What an amazing night.